PCQI, sometimes, when you're working with these type of department heads or, managers or mid-level managers, they tend to answer you or to give you responses just to make you go away.
Here we go again.
Good morning, PCQIs. This morning, I just wanted to get something out as a message to my fellow PCQIs. Typically, in the morning before everything gets chaotic, I tend to write the things I'd like to accomplish that day. And for today, one of the topics I wanted to share with you is creating a voice for PCQI. What do I mean by that? In our portal on internetic.com, within our internal team system, our IT department, which is itblaster.net, is that division, had created a portal that is basically an icon of a person talking. That icon represents speak up, or we used to call it the voice. And through my career and experiences, I have worked with FSQA, QA, QC, PCQIs, all aspects of the sciences and food safety. You name it, you put your abbreviation behind your name. I've worked with all professionals and alike. There are times that because of the job being a PCQI, we lose our voice because we work with a system that's basically has a little bit more culture that needs to go to the openness culture, where everybody seen is there to protect their livelihood. So as a PCQI, sometimes, when you're working with these type of department heads or, managers or mid-level managers, they tend to answer you or to give you responses just to make you go away. Does that make sense? The reason why this is my topic for this particular video is I've always listened and then I verify, right? It's kind of one of those, okay, I trust what you're saying, but I'm gonna verify what you're saying it's really happening. As a PCQI, okay, mainly because of my mentality or my cognitive thinking is all about compliance. So that's kind of embedded in me. But that is very difficult if you are just starting up as a PCQI. You're told to get a certification, and the company or you yourself invest on that specific PCQI certification that you can finally call yourself a PCQI. And then anxiety kicks in. Okay, now I'm certified. What do I do next, right? So a lot of these things you're gonna come across on, and you're gonna feel either you're alone or you need some help. Or maybe just a handful of you in the company really is looking into a PCQI role as a serious role. And some people might not look at it the same. Like I said, they go to work to provide for themselves and their family. And sometimes those type of openness won't open up for you because they feel that they're gonna be scrutinized or maybe critiqued or maybe told to do something different, and it's already been embedded that their ABCs is actually CBA, right? Or ADC, whatever. So be prepared for that. So as a PCQI, what I highly recommend getting into it years ago, I also fell in love in research. I would listen and assess the situation that my team or the team that I'm a part of and the company that I'm working for and working with, and then I do my research. I first go to FDA, FDA.gov, USDA.gov. I go to the agencies first, and then I look at the certification body guidelines. So these are some of the techniques that that I started to do, and there's a lot of information on the internet you can take advantage of. Then the rest of that is, if you observe something, it's nice to have it written down first and make a full assessment of the solutions, and that could be a procedure, an SOP. Use some images on it with arrows. In the industry, they also use them as work instructions. So there's a lot of tools that you can use, to convey that message Because typically, if I'm let's say the sanitation manager or the production manager or the maintenance manager, and a PCQI practitioner comes, to my office and tells me certain things, I might have some reservation or pushbacks. I might be looking at that person because she's young, he is young, or I've been with the company 30, 40, 50 years. I know this process like the back of my hand, and you just started, right? Meaning you've probably been there but just 2 to 3 years. So you're gonna have a little bit of that pushback on you, but it's refreshing when somebody comes in and basically says, "Hey, Arnell, I saw a gap on our sanitation process. Here's what I've observed, and here's the proposed SSOPs or procedures or protocol. I got some references here, and these are some of the supporting forms that we can either generate or insert into our forms for records. And this is what I'm thinking about on the lessons that I'm going to use for training materials. I just want you to have it considered." So now when you approach that person or that manager or supervisor, whatever the title powers to be at that point, it's very easy to consider changes that way. So I find that technique very, very useful. So sometimes when I get a phone call or I get an email, I'm quiet for a while. It's not that I'm ignoring it, it's I'm actually putting together that PFL that I've always talked about, which is what program does it fall under? What is the policy of the company to comply with that programs? What are my procedures? So I can then, conform to the policy to comply with the program. And best of all, how am I going to record it? So now, what forms am I going to use for records? Am I generating it, or am I just going to insert it to to an existing form so we have less paperwork? And then the most important part of that is, what lessons do I need to create for training materials? Do I need to create huddle training materials, because this is a short training for my supervisors and lead teammates that they can just huddle for 5 to 10 minutes, brief everybody, take a group comprehension quiz, and just kind of demonstrate or observe a demonstration of that instruction. What are those things? So as a PCQI starting out, these are going to be huge challenges for you because one, you're going to be running around with your head cut off, right? It's the nature of the beast, and then sitting down in front of a computer and writing all of these things down. So there's a lot of example on the web, but if you need some help, please reach out. I'm putting this channel out there so we can have this open communication. So as a PCQI, I know the topic of this video, I might have went off tangent, I apologize. I'm very, very passionate on PCQI having a voice, because at the end of the day, when it comes to food safety, it's actually on the Code of Federal Regulation. So I don't know if you had realized, the gravity of your responsibility, that the government actually put it as part of the law, which is the Code of Federal Regulation. So that's why I take being a PCQI very seriously. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, that create your own voice, right? Be the voice of food safety. So thank you, PCQI, for your attention. Have a great day. Contact us, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thanks again, PCQIs. Have a good one.